With only minutes remaining until the conclusion of the Tournament of Power, we have brand new images going into Dragon Ball Super Episode 128, which promises to reintroduce the arrival of Ultra Instinct Goku alongside a very battle-damaged Vegeta, and which is going to be most interesting to see considering Vegeta's position and where he might end up being towards the end of this episode. And again, I do want to say, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button and enable all notifications by clicking that bell icon. That way you guys yourselves can be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel in connection to news, information, updates, spoilers, and discussions. Hashtag Dragon Ball Squad. As we kick things off with the first image having to be shown on screen, with base Vegeta having to look battered and injured, and right before his elimination, it looks like Vegeta is gonna give it his all in unleashing one more final flash before he goes. Now, what's interesting about this is Vegeta's left eye is swollen shut. You can see markings all over his body. He's literally in pain, and I think that in this episode, we're going to see Vegeta give it his all, but eventually, due to spoilers and based on the episode preview, this is going to be Vegeta's fall. So, hashtag respect to Vegeta. Despite everything he's going through, he's still going to put up a fight before he gets eliminated. So, it's very unfortunate that his time has been cut down short just to make room for Goku, but nevertheless, based on plot armor alone, Goku is obviously being kept around just to fight Jiren in the finale as we transition into the next shot here, and this is our first ever look at Goku under Ultra Instinct during the finale of Dragon Ball Super. Now, again, this shot here looks very similar to episode 110 when Goku was slowly approaching Jiren before he attacked. So we are going to see Ultra Instinct Goku during Dragon Ball Super episode 128, but the only difference is a lot of us were expecting to see Goku go into Ultra Instinct during the finale of the episode, but that doesn't seem to be the case as we transition into the next shot here, and it looks like Goku will be fighting Jiren in the upcoming episode, because in this shot here, Goku manages to land a clean left hook into Jiren's stomach. So what I'm really curious about here is how much damage Jiren is going to take from Goku as Goku goes back into Ultra Instinct. So what I wanted to know from you guys is, how is Goku going to go back into Ultra Instinct? Is it going to be as a means of him getting hurt? Is it going to be as a means of him seeing Vegeta get eliminated? Let me know your thoughts down below, because this is very interesting development, because it looks like we are going to see them fight, and this might take place either during the middle of the episode or perhaps during the ending of the episode, because as of now, there are about 3 more episodes left until the finale, assumingly maybe 2 more until the tournament's over before we close things off as we go into Dragon Ball Super episode 131, which nevertheless, if you look at Goku's demeanor in this shot, he looks very focused, he looks very intense, and he looks very mad. So I'm actually very curious as to how Jiren is going to approach Goku during this, scenario, because I'm very curious if Goku's gonna access Ultra Instinct on his own. If he does that, it's going to be quite weird to see, because before he had to take tremendous amounts of damage from the Spirit Bomb and from Kefla for him to even go back into this form. As we transition into the next shot here, and we get to see Ultra Instinct Goku stare down with Jiren. So no signs of Frieza yet. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know where he's at. Obviously, he's still in the ring, but I do think that Frieza is plotting, and what's most interesting is the big finale, the be-all end-all fight is finally going to take place during episode 128, going into episode 129, and possibly going into episode 130 before we end everything off on episode 131. So what I'm thinking happens here, because I don't think that Jiren is going to more or less pay attention to Goku in this episode, I really think that it's because of Vegeta's elimination that Goku finds a means in unlocking Ultra Instinct on his own, in which thus we get to see the fight between UI, Goku, and Jiren in the finale, which I think would be the worst case scenario. I would love to see Jiren just completely mollywop Goku around before he goes back into that form, but we all prognosticated before that perhaps maybe Toppo was going to do it, or maybe Frieza was going to inflict damage purposely to see Goku go back into the state of divinity, but it looks like it may be as a result of Goku seeing something happen to Vegeta, or maybe for all we know, Goku does take heavy damage from Jiren during this episode, in which solidifies him going back into Ultra Instinct. But it looks like towards the end of this, or at some given point during this episode, we are going to see them fight. And I feel like this fight is going to be way more brutal and way more intense than how we saw during episode 110, and even during the fight with Kefla, because I'm really curious if Jiren's going to use his full power, because if you guys keep in mind, Jiren up until this point has not used his full power. So when Goku masters Ultra Instinct and fights Jiren, the question is, will Jiren need to go full power to fight Goku, or will he casually fight him just as he did during Dragon Ball Super episode 110? So post your comments down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are hyped and ready for the upcoming episode of Dragon Ball Super, then go on ahead and slap a like down below, guys. Tune back in for more. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that good jazz, I will leave links to those down in the description box for you guys to go on ahead and follow me on those social media platforms. Tune back in for more. What I really want to know from you guys is, where do you think Goku stands going into this episode? Because I made a video just about this week and last week talking about the possible conclusive endings for Dragon Ball Super involving Frieza, Goku, and Jiren, and if you missed out on those videos, be sure to go on ahead and check them out, because I really do think that you guys ought to really pay attention to Frieza, because just because we're seeing Jiren fight Goku doesn't mean that this excludes Frieza from doing something sneaky. Either he might buy his time in picking his spots and waiting for Goku and Jiren to tire each other out before he brings them both out. Perhaps Frieza will assist Goku, which I really want to see, because a lot of us want to see Goku and Frieza side by side fighting against Jiren, because it's something we haven't seen before. We haven't seen those two casually pair up to fight a common enemy. So now that it's just down to those two, they're gonna have to put their differences aside just this one time for them to work together in stopping and bringing out Jiren before the end of the tournament. So post your comments down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Cue my outro, bitch.